Okay, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for Natural Land Institute's Facebook Live event about bluebird monitoring at Nygren Wetland Preserve.
My name is Tricia, and this is my daughter, Vesta. Behind the camera, we have Kim Johnson. She's our Director of Marketing and Membership for the Natural Land Institute. We also have Mark Luthen joining us today. He's one of our trustees for NLI. And Mark will be monitoring comments and questions. So be sure to write something in the comments section while you're watching and click like so we know you're here. Okay, let's get started. So Vesta and I come out here. We work with a team of four. We work with a team of 4 individuals. And so every week someone is out here to monitor the bluebirds, the bluebird boxes. Vesta and I end up coming out here about once a month to check on bluebirds. And we've been out here for close to 10 years. I can remember coming out here and carrying her on my back for the whole entire afternoon. We enjoy seeing the bluebirds in all their different stages. And we come out here from, what are the months we come out here?
May to August.
May until August, yep. Okay, so we have 12 different bluebird boxes. Each of them have a number, and we record the activity for the season for each bluebird box. Each bluebird box has a series of check marks that we go through each week that we're out here. We want to look for things like, is there a nest? Is it a bluebird nest? Are there eggs? Are there babies? And then if there are babies, we want to look back and see how old they are, if the number of babies matches the number of eggs. There's just a little process that we go through each week to make sure that we can do the best we can to make sure that the bluebirds are born and raised here on the preserve. Let's see here. So it was asked earlier, I have a picture of a pretty little bluebird here. It was asked earlier, why bluebirds? Why bluebirds? Because bluebirds are native to this area, and a lot of the birds that come in here and are interested in these boxes and places are not native. And so we're trying really hard to keep the bluebirds here and keep their numbers healthy. And we've done a really good job. This is not the only bluebird trail in this area. And volunteers across the Midwest have made this a very successful endeavor for our bluebirds. So we come out here, and I like to say we're saving a seat for the bluebirds. I just think that's kind of a fun way to look at it. You know, you get to the party early and you save seats for your friends, and that's kind of why we're here. We just want to make sure that our friends, the bluebirds, get a chance to have a place to raise their young. If we were to come out here and just set up bluebird boxes, the chances of a bluebird being able to use it before someone else gets in there could be slim. And we want to give the bluebirds a chance, because that's why we put them out here. We are, however, loving to all the birds, and we take a lot of care and time to make sure that if some other bird has come in and laid eggs, that bird family gets all the opportunities and the safety to do that. We just also advocate for the bluebird. When we're out here, we sometimes see 3 or 4 bluebirds, and that's been very exciting. Every time a person sees a bluebird, they're happy. It's a fun thing to see a bluebird. Vesta just did a count on our book, and how many bluebirds have fledged this year?
21 so far.
21 bluebirds have made it out of their boxes healthy and happy this year. A typical number per year. That varies a lot. We have had, unfortunately, numbers under 10, and we've had numbers over 50. So it just really, really depends. It depends on the heat. It depends on the ability to
bugs and stuff too.
Keep the bugs away. The actual bluebirds themselves, the weather. It just depends on a lot of different things. Also, trial and error, moving the boxes around, trying to figure out what works. Like I said, we're out here from May to August, and we come once a month, sometimes more, sometimes less, because we are a team, so we always make sure that everybody gets their summer vacation and their breaks and things like that. When we're out here, it's always the highlight of my week. It's always the highlight of my day. It's always a lot of fun. It's very peaceful and quiet. We see pelicans. We see flowers. We see bees. And I love seeing bees out here because bees are really busy out here. They're doing their own thing, and they're not worried about my sandwich or my flowers or my perfume or anything. They're very busy out here in their own natural habitat, and it really brings me a lot of joy to see the bees. One of the things that we notice while we're out here that we've talked about before is when we first come out in May, everything is about this big, and we can get out of our car and see.
All grass.
It's all grass. It's all prairie grass, and we can see all the birds or all the boxes. We can see all the trails, and as far as the eye can see. And then as the season goes on, and the milkweed and all the beautiful flowers start to come up, we become little fairies out here. This is only the beginning of the height. This will get even taller than it is now. And, well, she's been getting taller over the last 10 years, but I stay the same. And the prairie grows and grows. So, we're gonna go over the actual process of what we do. What?
Do you want to show the boxes?
Oh, yeah.
We have an example of the bluebird and the tree swallow and other boxes, nests that we see in the boxes.
It's been interesting how you learn and how you can become pretty savvy about who's been in the box. And if this was your first day, you would wonder how does anybody know what a pile of sticks means? But it's very consistent, and the different species choose different items to build their nests, and it's really obvious who's here. We don't need to see a parent bird to know who's visiting the box, right? Yeah, it's kind of neat. So it's really important to us, just as environmentalists and animal loving people, that we're not hurting anybody while we're out here. So we always go up to the box with just a little bit of soft rustling and noise. We tap on the box, and that way, if mom is in there, she can fly out. Dad is in there, he can fly out. If the babies are in there and, maybe leaning, they can, upright themselves and figure out what's going on. Then we very gently remove a pin that's on the side of the box and lower the side of the box down. No bluebirds have ever been hurt in this process, right? No,
We've seen bluebirds laying in there.
We've seen bluebirds in there. We've seen mama bird standing strong, facing big giant us to defend her babies, and it's very exciting. She's 6 inches from our nose, and we honor that and close it back up, and away we go. But we definitely take that very seriously. So Vesta's going to give you an example of exactly how we monitor the bluebird box. You want to talk your way through?
Yeah. So we have, I think, 2 or 3 little baby bluebirds in here that are probably getting ready to leave as well, which would make probably like 24 fledglings. And that's basically how we do it. We just kind of knock and peek in there, and then we'll record whatever we see, a little notebook, and leave them to do whatever. There you go. Sorry. Oh, stuck.
Good job. Very good job.
You're stuck on here.
Oh. Okay. Minor technical things out here. So that's exactly what we do. We just come out and have a peek at the bluebirds, monitor. Again, I'm going to go over what we look for. So we start out, we want to see, is there a nest? Yes or no? Is it a bluebird nest? That's really important. Then we want to look to see if there's eggs. Usually these are week-long processes. So if person 1 says, yes, it's a bluebird nest, person 1 isn't going to see any eggs. Person 2 will come along a week later and find eggs, record that. Then a week later, someone else will confirm the total eggs, because usually by that 7 days, the mama has laid all of the eggs that she's going to lay, which is an average of 5. And then the week later, we might see babies, little teeny tiny pink itty bitty babies. And then we record how many eggs, how many babies. And then if the next person is lucky, they will also see
babies just like that.
Some babies just like that. But often, once they're like that, the next person in line is going to find an empty nest. But it's important that we all communicate with each other and understand, is that a brand new nest where the eggs are coming, or is that a nest that has already been used and will no longer be used? So then we do what we call a clean out. And we carry bags with us, and we clean out the nest and prepare the box for the next set of bluebirds.
Because I think if there's a nest in there, they won't start building their own, right?
That's correct. Yep. So it's important that we remove the nest. Yeah.
So that they have a place to start theirs.
It's important that if we want these bluebird boxes to be successful, it is important that there's human intervention, because otherwise the boxes just wouldn't be relevant to the bluebirds. So I went ahead and Googled some facts on bluebirds, and I just kind of wanted to share some stuff with you guys. The whole entire family of bluebirds is called a thrush. And that kind of includes everybody, and they live in they're territorial when they're breeding, but they live in big areas and out in the open areas. So I learned something called a bluebird kind of day, and it seems to pertain to a lot of snow activities, a lot of snowshoeing and skiing and things like that, snowboarding. But a bluebird day is a good day to be out in the snow. And I had never heard that before, and I thought that was really funny. And then if any of you can remember the Bluebirds of Happiness that maybe your grandma or mom or whoever had, I think Hallmark still sells them, little glass bluebirds. Lots of...
oh, you have one like that?
Mm-hmm.
Little blue, yeah.
Yep, we have one like that. And lots of bluebirds come on greeting cards and get well cards and things like that. I've never known anybody who wasn't excited to see a bluebird. They're absolutely beautiful, and they really show up well in this landscape, and they're just sunny and neat. And their eggs are gorgeous. A bluebird egg is one of the most beautiful colors you'll ever see. Here we have some mom and babies. This book is phenomenal.
This is probably like the stage that those are in there are like at.
Oh,
hi, Mr. B.
Bumblebee. Hello, B. Oh, he's here to stay.
There's a bee on the camera.
Did we talk about how you can tell the nests apart?
Did we talk about how you tell the nests apart?
No.
Okay, so when we come along and because I've talked about how we want to make sure it's a bluebird nest. How do we make sure it's a bluebird nest? Well, we look to see, first of all, one of our biggest telltales is a feather. If we see a feather in that box, we know that a bluebird is not there. Tree swallows and other birds use feathers, and bluebirds do not. So that's always a wonderful indication. We can try to save space for the bluebirds when we see that, because we can trust that it's not a bluebird.
Another thing is the depth of the nest.
Yep.
The bluebirds usually have like a deep nest, whereas other birds kind of almost have like a little platform.
Yeah, when the bluebird, before the babies are born, the bluebird nest almost looks like a waffle cone. Yeah. It's just, it's tall, and there's a nice little cone down there, and the eggs are kind of piled. So we really kind of have to, figure out how many are in there. And then once the babies come, they seem to kind of flatten the nest down quite a bit.
Their weight and stuff fills it up.
Yep. So, does anybody out in Facebook land have any questions?
I have two. How many broods a year do they make?
Okay, it appears like we have 2 often per box, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't have any way to tell you who the parents are. So when we get things cleared out and another bird comes in, we're pretty sure that we can do 2 full cycles per box, but we're not sure if it's the same set of parents.
Yeah, I think this year our highest was, the book said there was about 6 in one of the boxes somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but
6 bluebirds total.
Babies, yeah.
Babies.
Maybe different parents.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And my other question, and you might want to repeat the question, is where would they nest if they didn't have the boxes?
Okay, so where would bluebirds nest if they didn't have our boxes? And bluebirds need a safe, secure place. And let's see.
I don't think we have much on that.
Okay, to raise their babies. So oftentimes like an old tree, the crotch of a tree. We used to have bluebirds every year outside my mom's window in a big, the tree with the peely bark. I can't think of the name of it right now. Like a cedar type.
Shagbark hickory?
Yeah, like a chicory tree. Hickory.
Chicory.
Yes. And so they like things like that where they can get like the flat crotch of the tree.
As close to a box as they can get.
Yeah, as close to a secure place as they can get. I don't know that they use barns or houses or anything like that. I think they're definitely out as far as they can be.
I would imagine they try to choose places where other birds wouldn't necessarily go.
Yes.
Because they're
territorial and they want to be left alone. So an old tree would probably be the most ideal.
Yeah.
Does a 15-second delay, so you can
I
do a
have
little bit.
I have a question
Uh-huh.
for
Mhm.
Vesta.
Okay.
What makes you want to come out here and do this?
Well, I think it's kind of something that's very like familiar to me. I've been coming out here for a long time, so it's just kind of fun. And I, like we talked about earlier, I love seeing the stuff grow, and eventually it gets almost taller than us, and somewhere over there we kind of have to hike through it in order to get to some of the boxes, and that's always really fun to kind of maneuver our way through, and you can get up close and see all the different flowers and stuff.
Do you talk
And-
to your friends about what you do here, and does anyone else express interest in ever helping?
Sometimes it's mainly a summer thing that we do during the summer, so that's not usually when I'm like hanging out with my friends and stuff, but yeah, I'm pretty sure most of my friends know that I do it.
Okay. I guess we can wrap up now.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I plan on sharing this later with my Facebook friends and family. So hello to all of you out there. And we want to thank you for watching our video about bluebird monitoring at Nygren Wetland Preserve. We are owned by the Natural Land Institute, a private nonprofit conservation land trust. For more information about NLI and the Nygren Wetland, please visit their website, naturalland.org. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.